Good morning, everyone. Hope you've got a cup of tea or you've got the kettle on and you've got your biscuits. You already had your Kellogg's and going to sit back now, and for an hour and a half we're going to give you some beautiful old music. Hopefully you'll remember it and sing along.
There's no one there at the moment.
That's okay. I don't mind. Someone might download it later on. So here we go. We're going to start off right now. We're going to do a couple of really good jazzy ones to get us all motivated and ready for this beautiful day. And we're going to start with Elvis, so hopefully you'll like that. This is a little song called Teddy Bear.
Baby, let me be loving teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck, leave me anywhere. Oh, let me be,
Oh, let him be.
oh, teddy bear. Don't wanna be a tiger, tiger's way to run. Don't wanna be a lion, lion's ain't the kind you love enough. Just wanna be your teddy bear. I'll put a chain around my neck and you can lead me anywhere. Oh, let me be,
Oh, let him be.
your teddy bear. Baby, let me be round you every night. Run your fingers through my hair, cuddle me real tight. Oh, let me be,
Oh, let him be.
your teddy bear. Well, I don't want to be a tiger, tiger's play to run. Don't want to be the lion, lions ain't the kind you love enough. Just want to be your teddy bear. I'll put a chain around my neck and you can lead me anywhere. Oh, let me be,
Oh, let him be.
your teddy bear. Oh, let me be,
Oh, let him be.
your teddy bear. I just wanna be your teddy bear. Ooh.
Ah, well done. That's a good way of getting all the air out of the lungs.
We're getting a few on there now.
Ah, that's
It's all
very well
good.
done.
So we just started just on time so that we give people a little bit of a chance to log on.
I don't know about looking into this mirror. I'm a little bit scared about that because
What mirror?
well, into the camera because it also sees myself.
Oh well.
That's a bit scary.
Just if you can see that clock on Heather's right shoulder,
Yes.
it might look on her left to you, but we're looking at the camera from our iPad, so everything's in reverse. So I'm actually a right-handed guitarist, but I appear like I'm playing left-handed,
And if you
and the
understood
clock
that,
runs the other way. So
and if you understood that, because I had no idea what he's talking about. All I know is I'm looking at myself, and that's a bit of a scary thing.
And
So,
I was just going to say, please type and tell us who you are and if we can read it, because the camera's a little bit away. But we've got Darren Cunningham from the council on board. We've got Judy Franklin and Lorna Pauly.
well done.
So at this stage, but there's more people there that are watching that are interacting.
I'm loving the fact you can't see, because that means you can only see half of me, and that is good. Okay, so yes, we're starting up with a couple of nice bright ones so that we can get going and enjoy this little bit of, I hope you've got a cup of coffee or a cup of tea down by the side of you, and a nice little Tim Tam biscuit or an Anzac biscuit, and you can sing along and dance along with us, because that's what it's going to be all about. And here we go. This is from 1952, Bill Haley and the Comets. Maybe you saw them when they come out here, I don't know. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. She's gonna rock round the clock tonight. Put your glad bags on, join me hard. Have some fun when the clock strikes one. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock, rock, rock to the morning light. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock, rock, rock to the morning light. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Let's go, Dave. 6 and 7. We'll be climbing in 7th, and we're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock, rock, rock to the borderline. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. And when it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, all the going strong, and so are you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock, rock, rock to the borderline. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Well, scratch it, dear. When the clock strikes 12, we'll cool off then. Start around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock, rock, rock to the borderline. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. And that's all. Yeah. Oh, well, there's 2 songs to get our hearts beating. That's what we like to see. So yesterday, I'm not too sure if you caught our show on Wednesday, but we did a show on Wednesday. Yesterday was my birthday.
Not with the show.
No, not with the show.
council.
We did just one for our fans all over Australia and all over England, of course, which is where we go every year, except for this year. And it was lovely. And, well, yes, yesterday was my birthday, so I was inundated with beautiful happy birthdays and everything. And I got a chocolate cake for my birthday cake, made by my lovely husband. And I got a Revitive, you know, for the TV where your feet shake and all that sort of stuff. And I got a QB where you do 10,000 steps. And I got some Optifar, so I don't know what he's trying to tell me. Give me a chocolate cake and then give me all these exercise
Christmas is
things.
not going to be very good for you.
No, Christmas won't be very good, but it's all right. And it's all about enjoying this beautiful weather today, isn't it? Absolutely terrific. The sad thing is tomorrow's going to be 14 here in Melton, but, you know, it's all right. I'm built for the comfort. The first time we went to England 5 years ago, it was -15, and I was running around in a T-shirt, so, you know, that's what you do. But it's good to see that David's up.
It didn't really feel...
Didn't feel that bad. No, it didn't. So we've got a mixture of songs today, and we've got a lot of requests. Now, if you'd like some more requests, we are going to do a couple of more shows. Hopefully, Darren will put them, give us a few more ideas. And we're loving this, working with Darren. We haven't worked with him before. We've seen him a few times when we've done our council shows, but we haven't actually worked for him. But he's a great little entrepreneur. He has some terrific ideas. And so a few requests, and I think this is one. Is it?
This one, hopefully she's watching, Sue Wooder, who put in some requests earlier in the week on the Melton Seniors page.
That's right.
And she asked for this one, and I think she asked for another song, but we didn't do it.
Okay.
So we're doing this one.
So you can see why David and I go well. I talk like I'm on the Calder Highway. David talks like he's on a back road looking at the clouds.
Oh yes, Sue's just logged on.
Ah, there we go.
Sue, this is for you. This was the song you requested, and it's
Sweet.
Sweet Caroline.
By the one and only Mr. Neil Diamond, whom I love. Way back from Hot August Night. What a gentleman.
Where it began, I can begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who will believe you come along?
Come on, sing it out now.
Hands,
No touching hands, reaching out. No touching me, no touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline,
good time never seems so good.
I'm inclined
To believe in the world, no, why. Through the night, hurt that runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when I'm holding you?
Yeah, 'cause I'm nice and soft, you couldn't hurt hold of me. Walls, ooh, we're touching walls. No touching walls. Reaching out, no touching me, no touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline,
Good time never seems so good.
I've been inclined
To believe they ever would. Oh no, no.
hands up. That's it. Look for the bingo hands. Oh, sweet Caroline,
Good time never seems so good.
I've been inclined
To believe they never would. Caroline,
Sweet Caroline,
good time never seems so good.
I've been inclined
To believe they never would. Sweet Caroline.
Oh, well done. Of course, there's no touching me and no touching you. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I hate going shopping. I got told off the other day over here at Woodgrove. Of course, I'm only speaking to Melton people because we're so special. But over here at the shops the other day, I am so used to being up in close contact with people and talking to them. And I went to the deli in the Woolworths and went to point and tell her what meat I wanted. And she said, "Oh, excuse me, madam, could you step back?" I totally forgot. I am just...
They've got lines and everything on the ground, but you don't look
I
at
know,
that.
but I'm just not used to doing that, and it's horrible when you're used to sort of getting up close and personal, and I don't like it, so I send the old boy shopping most of the time. I chauffeur him around, so he thinks that it's quite special, but yeah, it's
I just saw a message there a little while ago because we only see a couple of messages at a time, but we got Burnside Retirement Village on
oh,
board,
hello, Burnside.
and yeah, we usually play there every July for Christmas in July,
We do.
but not this year. But
Is that where Dudley is?
where Dudley used to be.
Oh, where Dudley used to be, because he was, yeah, we
He was
remember
about
playing there.
102 when he passed on. But,
Yeah, we loved playing there because they love to dance. So later on we've got YMCA, so hopefully you're going to get out there and do that, and that would be terrific. And the closer I'm looking at this phone, this camera here, I'm thinking instead of getting Revive, I should have got some uplifting stuff from, what's that lady's name? Suzanne Paul or whatever her name is, because I can see the wrinkles kicking in. So anyway, maybe I shouldn't look so close.
Sue would have just thanked us for that.
Ah, that's all right,
That's
anytime.
okay. We're quite happy.
Oh, so we're going to take you back now. We get a lot of requests when we're travelling all over this beautiful country of ours for some beautiful Doris Day music, and we thought we'd give you this one that I haven't sung for a long, long time, but I just love Doris Day music. I remember her on a TV show when she used to walk down the steps in her own show, and of course she was in Calamity Jane and all those beautiful musicals, and she not only looked beautiful but she sounded beautiful, and of course now she's passed on, but we can still remember the beautiful music of Doris Day, and this is called Black Hills of Dakota. So let's pretend we're out on the farm. Take me back to the Black Hills of the voice of the mystic mountains calling me back home. So take me back to the black hills of Dakota, to the beautiful Indian country that I love, to the beautiful Indian country that I love.
To the black hills,
To the beautiful Indian country that I love. Oh, wasn't that beautiful? To the beautiful Indian country. We used to live on a farm not so long ago, and we had lots of beautiful weather up there. I think the coldest was like 25 degrees, wasn't it? We had lots of flies.
It got pretty cold, but it wasn't not that long ago. It was a long time ago.
Was it? No,
It was
yes,
over 10 years ago.
2020. I forget. I still think that I'm 21, even though yesterday I turned 55. I guess that's what we do. It doesn't matter how old you are in numbers, it's how you feel. And I know most of our people out there, they may be over their 70s, but they still look and feel fabulous, especially those guys at Burnside. I know you guys are awesome, the way you run around and dance and everything like that. So isn't it great to feel, it doesn't matter, we might feel 21, we might feel 30, we don't need a number, we just have to feel great. That's what I say. So this is another request, isn't it, Dave?
This is. Hopefully Penny Fullerton is on board, but if you're not, you can always watch this back later.
Of course, Kenny Rogers and...
I'm assuming that Darren will save it to the page so that people can
Darren's very clever.
watch it later.
I've been lucky to have such a great council. We've got a terrific
We've got a
council.
very hands-on council.
We have. They're fantastic, and we love doing all the work with them. We love working at Christmas time with them, and there's a lot of special guys out there that do so much hard work. So we're in a great municipality. Is that what you call it?
I don't know.
I don't know. That might have been just a word that popped in my head.
No,
there.
you're sort of halfway there, but
Halfway there.
I was going to say something else, and I thought, well, I'll probably muck that up.
And another word that I heard the other day off one of these very clever people that come on and tell us what to do, and I'm pretty sure she was just trying to use big words so that we got stumped. She said disadvantageous. Now, I'm educated and I didn't know that word.
That was something to do with
I don't know.
the COVID thing.
I don't know. So
about going back to school, I think.
Anyone ever heard of that word before? Disadvantageous. I'm sure it meant disadvantaged, but I just never heard it in that era. Anyway, isn't it funny how you pick up words? And I don't even have one of those toilet rolls that have a word of the day. Maybe they should bring one of those back. All right, here we go. So this is for someone out there.
Penny Fullerton, it is.
Penny Fullerton.
And it's The Gambler by Kenny Rogers.
By the late, great Kenny Rogers, but we've still got his fabulous music.
On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound to Norway, met up with a gambler, we were both too tired to sleep. We took turns to stare out the window and the darkness boredom overtook us. He began to think, he said, son, I made a life out of reading people's faces, know what their cards were, or the way they held their eyes. If you don't mind saying, I can see your routed faces for a taste of your whiskey. Give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle and I drank out my last swallow. Then he rolled a cigarette, asked me for a light. Then the night got dead and quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play.
Come on, sing it out now. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run.
You never
Count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done.
Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving, knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner, every hand's a loser. The best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. Knowing if it is speaking, turn back towards the window, bust out a cigarette, faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler he wrote even in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
Ah, that's a request for?
Penny Fulton.
And that little clicking noise was my little frog. I don't know if you can see that, but this would be a drummer's nightmare because every time we play with...
It's my nightmare too sometimes.
I do get excited when I start to sing, but it's in the shape of a little frog and it's got these little sharp things that when you actually play it properly, it gives off like a
It's a percussional instrument.
Yes, but not when Heather's got it. When Heather's got it, it's just a noise. But I love it, and I brought it all the way from South Australia, and we play over there so many times. I love going to South
Not this year. We were going 1,000 miles an hour at just in end of February, March.
We were.
And everything stopped. So
yeah, and
unfortunately, but
what's the date today? It's the 8th.
It's the 8th of May.
At the end of last year, at the end of last month, we would have been over to South Australia already 3 times because I always sing over at the dawn service in Kilburn over there, and I have a great time. And I so love South Australia. So I'm not too sure if this is a request, but
no, I don't think it is. But
because we do a little bit of country, and if you come to our shows, which some of you do, I know some of you do out there, we like to mix it up. So of course later on we're going to do a bit of YMCA, and there's a bit of Vera Lynn, and we've got a little bit out of Les Miserables, and a little bit of Italian, and but you know, we've got some beautiful music here in Australia, and it wasn't for the fact that this gentleman back in the 30s and the 40s paved the way for people like us to do what we do. And this is all about our beautiful country. And for any truck drivers out there that used to be truck drivers, or if you've got children, sons and daughters and grandchildren that used to be a truckie, you'll remember this song, and it's called Lights on the Hill, and it's by the one and only Mr. Slim Dusty.
it's a long straight road and the engine is deep. I can't help thinking of it but not sleep. Long, long roads of my life are calling me. These rumbled hands are glued to the wheel. My eyes full of sand from the way I feel. The lights coming over the hill, blind me. It's a long, tough hole from the way down south. The man's gotta find a little brick for his mouth, and a home for a girl, sweet as my honey can be. Well, it's down through the gears, she's a starting to go. The gauge on the tank is showing near full. The lights coming over the hill, blind me. There's rain on the road and I can feel the load started shifting. In an end, it's the latest see the post. I haven't gotta go, started
Well, I'm over the edge and down the mountainside. I know they're gonna tell about the night I cried. Hear the rain when the lights on the hill were blinding me. Hear the rain when the lights on the hill were blinding me. Ah, that's very country folk out there. And I've got to mention the Men's Sheds. We do a few shows at the Men's Sheds, and we love the work that they do. They're so friendly to us, the guys at the Men's Sheds. I think we've been to the one just down here at the park, which is, what's that one called? Melton, I think.
That's the Melton.
And then Taylor's Lakes Men's Shed, is that
Taylor's
right?
Hill, I think.
Taylor's Hill.
I just got to look at something here. I think someone's trying to get in on the feed. It might be Darren. There's a little red dot there that I've never seen before.
So don't be scared. David's just not trying to scare you. He's just trying to look at you and see what's going on. It's Marie Williams, whom we don't know, but...
no, there's a Marie Williams is trying to get on our feed. But,
that's okay. Don't scare the people by us.
I'm not doing that. I just wondered whether it was Darren.
You are standing. Okay. You're standing very close, and that would scare some of them. It scares me every morning when I get up.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
You wasn't too worried yesterday when you got your breakfast in bed.
Oh, I know. I haven't had that. We've been married 36 years. First time for everything, I suppose. But anyway.
Well, not quite 36, but
no, coming up.
Now, there are people writing messages, and if you're writing to us, we can't really see them from where we are.
I can see someone.
We could just sort of just make out a few things.
That's okay.
We will answer your messages when we're finished at 11:30.
David will. David is very good on the old computer. Me, not so much. If you want to talk to me, ring me up, because I'm not good with the computer. I don't understand it. Anyway, you know, the one thing, isn't it funny that there's people keep saying, what do you wish for? What's the first thing that you wish for when we're out of this isolation? And I want Melton Waves to open up again, because I go there and I love it. And I do miss the hydro. My bottom is saying, yes, we do miss the hydro.
Do you want us to quit for that?
No, it's quite all right. And so that is the one thing. I cannot wait until the swimming pools come open again. I'm not worried about the coffee houses and things like that, because I've got coffee out there. At the moment, for me to go pretend that I'm at the swimming pool, I have to go and have a bath, and David has to go blow bubbles in it, and that makes me think I'm at the spa bath.
I actually put an Alka-Seltzer in it.
So it doesn't work in it. But that is the one thing, and if you go down to the hydro down here in Melton, at Melton Waves there, they are so great. They're brilliant people, and I love the people that are in the little spa and the hydro, and we always have a bit of a talk, and that's the one thing I want. So what's the one thing that you want when isolation is over? Probably you want to see your family. I guess that would be number one. But as I see my family every day when I look at David, that doesn't matter. So, but the hydro. What about you, Dave? What's the first thing you want?
Actually, I do miss the people in the shopping centre.
Do you?
Well, I'm the one that goes there. No, I don't. But
so why do you miss them?
You just miss the crowd a bit.
I thought it'd be better.
I must say, last weekend I went to Woodgrove, and I went to the Woolworths in Coburn's Road, because I can walk there. We're not far from there, and I went there, and the crowd was to the footpath on the street.
Wow.
So I thought, no, I'll miss that one. I'll go to Coles. So I went around the corner and went to the Coles, and you've got to go in the other side at Coles, so in the night entrance, and the crowd was right into the shop, plus back to the Commonwealth Bank.
They might have had a lot of good specials.
So, I don't know. It only seems to happen on the weekend. So then I went up to the other Woolworths, up the other end. And the crowd was only 9 people. But on the way, the crowd at Kmart was in the alcove all the way back to the cinema.
Really?
The amount of people. And I wouldn't have thought there's that many people working.
You crack me up sometimes. All right.
When I say when they're working, it means that they're coming out on the weekend to do the shopping. But however,
we're going to sing a beautiful song.
It is what it is.
This is one song that I can't wait to sing. Probably our most requested song all over the place in all the clubs, and this and a white sports coat. But hopefully you like our version of a beautiful Righteous Brothers song called Unchained Melody. Oh, my love, slowly, and time can do so much.
So much.
Here are you,
Are you
still mine. I need your love. I need your love. Oh God, speak your love to me. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely rivers shy, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me. My love, my darling, I hunger for your touch, along and oh, and time, it goes by so slowly, and time can do so much.
so much?
Here are you, still mine. I need your love. Oh, I need your love. Oh, God, speak your love to me, my darling, my love to me. Ah, yes, I agree. Someone out there wrote they miss hugs.
Yeah, it's Faye Mann.
I miss hugs too, I must admit. I love it. When we go to our shows, lots of people love to come up and give me a hug and tell me how much they've sort of seen us or missed us since the last time. And of course, I love travelling, which is something that we don't do. I've got a little bit of a squeal going on there, Dave. You'll fix that. So, yeah, isn't it funny? We now, I guess, one positive thing to come out of all this ISO is we appreciate the small things. Now, I remember my mum telling me, don't go through life too quickly that you don't get to smell the roses. And I guess sometimes our life does get so busy we get entangled in things and we forget family and those little tiny things. And I guess in a way this has shown us that yes, we need to smell the roses and take the time. I've actually started penning, writing to some of my friends the old-fashioned way, putting pen to paper. And one of my friends in Shepparton, she wrote back to me and she said, oh my gosh, I haven't done this since I left school. And then another chap wrote to me from Kyabram and he said, you know, Heather, he said, I think it was 60 years ago that I wrote a letter. 60 years ago. So, you know, it's those little tiny things that now we won't take them for granted so much. So I guess that's one of the positive things to come out of this ISO.
I don't know, I don't like writing. I get the cramp.
No one can understand your writing. All right, Dean.
Well, I don't know if it's just my writing. It could be yours too. You know,
right.
Sometimes I think you're like a head scratch.
I should have been a doctor. I've got a good skill. All right. So this is one by Dean Martin. Now, all of you remember Dean Martin, and we love doing this song at our shows. It's a waltz, And when we're doing a lot of our dancing shows, they always come and request, is there any chance that you could do That's Amore? So here we go. If you've got someone there, don't forget you've got plenty of time to go out and warm up the kettle, or grab a glass of water, or maybe a Tim Tam or a Bicky or a Crusket or anything like that. Kick your feet up.
Do whatever you wish.
Yep, we're here till 11:30. So, and now next week on the 15th, where are we hoping to go?
Providing the weather's good.
If God's looking down on us, we have nice
Darren
weather.
has organised for us and someone to film and someone to take some photos.
Well, have you got his wide-angle lens on?
Well, we're going around a few of the homes, not necessarily retirement villages or nursing homes, to people who have requested for us because they don't have the internet.
Wow.
And so we're going to sing on their front lawn,
So it's like
acoustically.
a concert on the porch.
Something
you
like
say?
that. Something like that.
Wow, how exciting is that? I can't wait to see
So
that.
we've got a few of those to go to on Friday next week, providing the weather
It's
is
fine. And my voice rings out in the open air. Don't have any walls to hold me in.
So perhaps if you know someone that does not have the internet and may be interested, just get them to contact Darren at the City Council, and
And he'll look after you.
he'll be able to get you down on the list. I don't think it's the only time. We've got 3 to go on to,
Wow.
but I think they're organising some more.
See how cool is the Melton City Council. We love them, guys. All right, here we go. This is for all the Italians out there.
Is Jerry Lewis going to come along?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
In Napoli, what you see, where one meets man, that's what they say.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's amore.
When the world seems to shine like you had too much wine, that's amore.
That's amore.
Bells will ring,
Ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling,
and you'll sing Vita Bella.
Vita Bella.
Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella.
Ooh, lucky fella.
When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta for cool, that's amore.
That's amore.
When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signori. Scusami, ma tu si va che non Napoli, that's amore.
Mr. Jerry Lewis. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's amore.
When you dance down the street and I can't see my feet, that's amore.
That's amore.
Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella, Vita Bella, Vita Bella, and you'll play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella.
Lucky fella. When the stars make you do just like pasta for the
That's amore, that's amore.
when you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusami, ma tu si va che non Napoli, that's amore.
Oh, that's amore, that's amore. Hey! Ah, that's love, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes,
That's
it
what they
is.
say. Someone's just written in, who's that? Lorna Lorna someone.
There you go, scaring the people again.
Talking of writing letters, I am writing to my grandchildren and that they are writing back. Good writing practice for a school child, I think. I've run out.
That is excellent, excellent, because I was watching a TV show the other day. I don't know if anyone else has seen that, Tipping Point or something, and one of the questions was, what is cursive? And the young people had no idea what that meant. Of course, that's how, when we were in like grade 3 and grade 4, that we learned to join all the letters together. See, they've lost all of this now. They're just there worried about their computer. But isn't that clever? It's good on you for doing that, and that's what we should do. We should get the young people in and let them know, you know, we used to start the print and then we did the cursive where we joined all the letters together. Isn't it funny how a dying art like that disappears?
My letters joined together. It's just one straight line.
Oh, well, I love it. I love it, and I hope my friends. I've got 8 friends that I wrote to. 2 have written back, but I hope.
So you got 6 friends that you. Sorry, you got 2 friends that you write to.
No, one of the poor ladies. She comes from Balrinald, which is in New South Wales, and she sent her letter 2 weeks ago. So I'm sure it's going to get here. It's just taking its time.
It wasn't here so far today.
Well, it'll get here, but that's a good thing. See, write to your children, your grandchildren, and all that. It's a great art to learn, and it makes it something special. Oh, well, I think so, and my friends do. So I think it was a little bit of an idea. So we're going to take you way back. When we go over to England, we always do our Vera Lynn Slim Dusty show over there, and the Seekers. And
this is really an Andrews sister.
Well, it is, but it's the wartime, isn't it? So we sometimes slot this in when people request it, and it's one of those really fast ones.
It is. It was requested by Jenny Adams.
Jenny Adams. Well, great choice, Jenny Adams. So thank you for requesting this one. And if you can all sing along or dance along, do whatever you do best. Maybe just sit there and have a cup of tea and write to the grandchildren. And
if you feel like getting up and having a dance, a bit of an exercise, that's fine.
Sounds good.
That's fine.
Here we go. This is called the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. He was a famous trumpet man down Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft. The ladies don't cream up, and he was gone in the draft. He's in the army now, Lord heavily. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. They made him always bugle for his Uncle Sam. They really brought him down because he could not jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and dropped in the band. And now the company jumps when he was reveling. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. A toot, a toot, a tootly-oddly toot. He blows it into the bar. He boogie rhythm, you can't blow a note unless the basic guitar is laying with him. And he makes the company jump into the bar. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. He was some boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. And when he plays the bugle bugle bugle, he's as busy as a bee. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. Toot toot, toot-a toot toot, a toot toot, toot-a toot toot. Blowing up the bass and guitar is with him. And he makes the company go into the bar. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. Yeah. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. And I'm da 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 da. And he makes the company jump into the bar. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. Oh, they don't make it like that anymore. But one of my dancers has wrote me an email and said, could I do a Christina Aguilera song that has that same big brass note? But doesn't it funny? It reminds me, every time I hear that music, it reminds me of Dad's Army. I don't know why, but I can just say, Mr. Mannering, Mr. Mannering, Mr. Mannering.
Don't panic, Mr. Mannering.
I love that show. That it makes me laugh. I love that show, and that sort of music just. You got along there. You got about 4 words out of the whole song.
I just been a little bit.
You got your teeth in.
I do. Unusually, I haven't had them in.
I can hear this going. Plays 8 to the bar.
That's all right.
Well done.
And then again, I wasn't sure where you were going to go.
No, but that's all right. I've been singing that song since since I did Your Soda, which would have been. I was 10, so I've been singing that song 45 years.
I was just thinking, wouldn't this be great? People could put this show up on their big TV, like at Burnside, they could put it up in their rec room.
Well, they want to scare everyone, say nothing.
No, they're not allowed to go in there together.
Of course they're not. Well, isn't it a great day? I think it was Taylor's Lakes who had one of the managers of the retirement villages had everybody out in the courtyard doing their
Taylor's Lakes and Taylor's Hill, one of them.
That's a brilliant
They're out
idea.
there doing their exercise.
So we've got YMCA coming up. I won't do it because I tried it practicing it last night and I whacked David off the chair. So it's appropriate that I don't do that today because I need him to make lunch.
I knocked my teeth in today and probably broke them.
But it's great. See, we can work around things. We are Australian and we are very clever. We can multitask. The women can multitask and the men can say, yes, dear, that's right.
Australia's just joined a new club.
And what's that club?
Well, it's the club of coming out of isolation. There's only a few countries in it, and Australia and New Zealand have just joined that.
See, we're the best. Well done. That's what it's all about. Okay, here we go. Now, this is back in 1953, I think, again, when Bill Haley. Now, I'm not too sure if Bill Haley ever come out here. I have asked this
he come to
before.
Melbourne. He was apparently played at Festival Hall.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
Well, I've been there. I saw Barry Manilow there.
We saw Barry Manilow the other night on the TV. And,
yes, he's had more work done than working in a, if you were,
he's had a bit of Botox.
Facelift, that's it, more Botox. Anyway, that doesn't matter. If I had Botox, my belly button would be about here. But anyway, we're not going to go into that.
Where?
About here.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
Something like that.
All right, this one is called Shake, Rattle and Roll. Here we go. It goes a little bit like this. A good one here. Hear all that brass?
Get out of that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Get out of that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Well, roll my memories, 'cause I'm a hungry man. I said shake, rattle and roll. 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 Well, you never do nothing to save me down console. Well, you're wearing those dresses, head drawn up so much. Well, you're wearing those dresses, head drawn up so much. Well, you look so warm, but your heart is cold as ice. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake.
that song reminds me of? Shake, rattle and roll. Could remind me of a chocolate shake. I did think of something else. I can't wait till the footy comes back. Not that I get to go to the football because we're always on the road, but and those of you that have come to our shows, you know I'm a big Geelong supporter. I think I've been a Geelong supporter since I was 55, since I basically come out of the womb, because my whole family are all Geelong and you could not barrack for anybody else. And I can't wait till the footy comes back. Can you, Dave? Dave goes, I don't really care about that.
Look, I support Geelong, but if they win, they win. No, if they lose, they lose.
No, see, he's no good. You need to be. You need to be like if they
You're
play.
You're
terrible,
that passionate. That TV that's behind us. We're very lucky we've got.
I throw this. Hang on.
Oh, I think I might just go and check the internet because we just.
You go and check the internet.
I
could tell people a joke.
We went offline there for a sec.
Would you like me to tell people a joke? I actually can't tell some of my jokes because they're quite visual. But if there's a lot of jokes coming out in because of this so I guess it is. And there was one that now I better not quote it because I may get it wrong. And but it's funny, isn't it, how most of the time we turn to humour. Humour will get us past all the time, I think. Isn't that a good thing? It makes you sort of, all right, we're having a bit of a dull day, we wake up and go, oh. But it's humour sort of gets us through, doesn't it, Dave?
Yes, it does.
Yes, David wakes up every morning and laughs, and I say, what are you laughing at? He said, oh, I don't know.
I wake up.
No, because he says, oh, you got your nightie on. Well, that's funny, but are we right? How are you going there?
Well, I don't know, but that might be something. We're with Optus, so it might be something to do with that.
So someone did request that, we've got an email.
We've got an email from Darren, but we'll get that later to Darren.
Okay.
We'll get that in about 35 minutes.
Someone requested that, if possible, could I do one of our songs out at the show?
This was from Marlene Gorman, who organises the entertainment at Burnside Retirement.
No, I really do appreciate it when anyone asks me to sing these songs, because this is what I was brought up on. I love singing anything like out of Evita or Cats or Send in the Clowns, anything like that. But I found a song out of Les Miserables that David used to sing, and it's actually, when it's sung on the show, it's done by the male, which our version was done by Normie Rowe. But then I heard it and I thought, I love that song, and I think it should be brought in the realm of the movie, of the picture, of the show. It should be sung by the parents. So I've had a little bit of a tinkle and a little bit of a play with it, and I just really do appreciate this song.
Just before I'm just going to check that email in case Darren's told us we've gone offline.
Oh, that's okay. You can do that. Hello, how are you, Darren? It's good how David can just walk off and I'll just keep talking.
Oh no, it's okay.
It's okay.
He's just posting a message to the page.
To the page. To the knitting people. Don't we have lots of very talented people here? We have crocheting people, knitting people, cooking people. I can't crochet. I wish I did listen to my mum and learn how to crochet, but I couldn't do that. I can knit, but for me to knit a scarf, it would take me 5 years. But anyway, that's only about that long. Anyway, so I digress. Here's a beautiful song out of Les Miserables, and it's called Bring Him Home. In my
home. If God had granted me a son, the summer's night, one by one, soon they fly on and on. I am old, I will be gone.
Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can take and you can give. Let him be. Let him be. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him Oh, that's a beautiful song out of Les Miserables. I hope you like our version. We like to mix it up.
I've got to
with
get
the
my
two of
breath
us.
back.
Well done. We like to sort of, because there's two of us on stage, it's always nice to include the other one. So I hope you like that. That was out of, as I said before, Les Miserables. And it's called
Usually a
Bring Him Home.
man's just singing that, but
It is.
we thought we'd adapt it and make it from a parent's point of view.
Yeah, because I think that's well, it's the way we went. Well done. So I hope you like that. So I hope you've got your coffee out there and you're starting to drink a little bit. Time now for all the fit, which most of you are. Even if you can't get up, you can do it in your seat. You can do all that. Back in, I think around the 74, 75 mark, there was a group of men come out of America and they did a show called You Can't Stop the Music. Nobody can stop the music. And I'm going to so learn that song. I love that song because music is so great and so powerful. It gets us through these days. But out of that also came this terrific
I
song.
think this song might have been before that.
Do you think so?
I
don't know, but I think it was in that show. Anyway, this is called the YMCA. So I know at Burnside, they love this because every time we go there and every act that goes there, Brendan Scott, we all do this song for them. So come on, get off out of your chairs. Even if you can't, just sit there, wobble your tushy, tap your feet, and here we go.
Young man, there's no need to fool down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, cause you're new in a town. There's no need to be so unhappy. Young man, there's a place that you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'll show you 5 million ways to have a good time.
That's it, here we go.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel.
Young man, are you listening to me? I said, young man, what do you want to be? I said, young man, you can make your dream clearer. You got to know this one thing: no man does by himself.
I said, young man,
Put your pride of yourself,
you
but
can go there.
and I'm sure you will.
I can help you have a good time. Hey! It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They'll have everything that you're meant to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You get yourself free. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel.
Well, young man, I was once in your shoes. I said
I was down and out with the blues. I thought, no man,
hey, if I was alive, I thought
the whole world was so jive. That's when
someone came up to me
and said, young man,
take a walk up the street and
some places
call the YMCA that you start your way back to.
Hey, here we go now. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for your man to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel at the YMCA. Ah, well done, Dave. You got a bit excited there. You keep singing my part.
I got it. I got dropsy today. I don't. You got these little plastic things to pluck the strings of the guitar,
And that's called a plectrum.
a plectrum, and I've dropped it about 15 times today.
Oh, that was funny. I didn't know where you were going, but you got there.
Oh well.
You see what I mean? Laughter is the best medicine. And if you mess it up, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. You went out there and did the whole thing and you were jumping around. That's all that matters.
Now,
Dave was...
I was just thinking, while I was dropping my plectrum, I was just thinking now, if you're enjoying the show, which a lot of people are saying they are,
Good on you.
don't forget
I'm enjoying
to
it.
send your feedback back to Darren at the council, and I'm sure he'll organise other shows. It may not be us, it may be another act. He's trying to keep it local, but it could be somebody else, but it could be us as well
Because
for the
Melton
next
is the
one.
best.
And hopefully we'll make the numbers grow.
Yeah.
So pass the word around to people who have got the internet on at home, and get onto the Facebook page, join the Melton Seniors page, and become active with it.
And learn how to knit and learn how to cook and all that sort of stuff. We're having fun.
I don't know if they're having lessons on there
Oh,
about how to
really?
knit, or how to cook, but
I'm having a great time.
there's a lot of interaction with them. There's people knitting teddy bears and blankets and things. So.
See, I'm having a great time because then again, I like my own company, so I could make myself laugh. But I love it when people get up there and have a bit of a dance and say stuff like that, because we are what God made us, and that's all that we have to worry about. Okay, now I'm going to take you way back. Let's see where we're going to go to. This is around about a little bloke called Marty Robbins. And the story is he was driving along in 1950 in his Cadillac. He'd just come home from a job, passed a school, and he saw all these kids out there, teenage kids, with white jackets on, and they all had a pink rose. And the fella next to him said, "Gee, what are they doing there?" And he said, "I think they're going to their local dance." Now, this was back in 1950 when Debs were really, really prominent. So he got thinking, and this is why he was a #1 seller. He got home and he penned a beautiful song, which was probably his most famous, or El Paso. There's lots of other ones, but this one would have been his most famous. It's called A White Sports Coat.
Oh, why,
Sport coat,
and a big party shirt.
do all
I will just hold it down.
I said,
Oh, why,
I said, he's got a wife, sport coat, and you
Once you told me that I would go to the promise for me to go. Now you change your mind and see someone else who hold my dreams. To one sport coat and a big car insurance. I'm in the blue.
White sports coat. You know, that again has got to be one of the most popular songs when we travel the world. They all love that song. Now, a couple of, about 7 months ago, I wrote a letter to Vera Lynn because she has made a big impact in my life. And of course, her name is now Dame Vera Lynn. And I thought, you know, she's 103, she's not going to write back to me. Lo and behold, the lady wrote back. It was printed out, but then on the bottom she had written it, and there were so many things that I had conveyed in my letter about her and how my mum had always said, please learn a Vera Lynn song. And back in my 20s, I said to my mum, I still remember, I said to my mum, I'm not going to learn that old stuff. That'll go out. No one will want to hear that again. Was I wrong? Yes, I was, because, you know, all of these beautiful songs that she sung, and now I'm glad she's entered into my life. So she wrote me a beautiful letter, and I would like to say thank you to her for this beautiful song. It's called A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square.
And it is for Wynne Trotter Madden, who requested this song. She asked for another song, but you wasn't sure of that one.
I hope
Not
I do
real
it
sure of
justice.
this one, but
I hope I do it
you
justice.
applied yourself and learnt it. So.
I did. Here we go. That certain night, the night we met, there was magic abroad in the air. There were angels dining at the Ritz, and a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I may be right, I may be wrong, but I'm perfectly willing to swear that when you turned and smiled at me, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. The moon that lingered over London town, poor old moon, he wore a frown. How could he know we two were so in love? The whole darn world seemed upside down. The streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And as we kissed and said goodnight, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. true. Our homeward step was just as light as the tap dancing feet of a stair, and like an echo far away, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I know, 'cause I was there that night in Berkeley Square. What beautiful words. And did you hear no swear words or anything, just beautiful words, and it all encapsulated Fred Astaire and love under the moonlight, because of course at the time of the war it was all, you know, hush hush, you couldn't do anything. But
Had
there
to black
she
the windows
was.
out there, didn't you?
Yes, but there she was in love. And you know, I was talking about this the other day on one of our podcasts, that when they went back in the 40s and in the early 1900s, when they had to isolate, they didn't have the freedom of having iPads and Skype and Zoom and all of those wonderful things, or TV. When they had to isolate, they had to isolate. So they lived on coupons and things like that.
I did see a story on the news the other day, and a lady just turned 95, and she said this is not unlike what it was back in the Second World War, not unlike because of the isolation and things like that, but she did mention that we're a lot luckier now because we've got internet and we've got
phones,
iPads and phones
and light,
interaction, and we can have our lights on.
Yeah, so you don't think about things like that. Yeah. But it's in my opinion, some of the most beautiful music come out in that era. And if you're lucky enough to be on the iPad, the other day someone sent us through of a lady who was in her 80s or 90s, and she was suffering from Alzheimer's. And here she was playing guitar, just how this guitar is going to be played in this next song, the old country western wise. So I remember Jean Autry and all of that. And here she was. Now remember, she had Alzheimer's, so she wasn't talking to anyone or anything like that, but she was playing a beautiful guitar and singing beautiful music with her grandson, I think it was. So that's how powerful music is, you see. Even when you lost the thought or the chance to be able to speak, music comes flooding back, and this is what came flooding back to her. And it's a beautiful song by Jean Autry, and I think it was one of the first songs that we ever learnt when we were 4 and 5. Yeah. So please sing along. I know you'll know this one. It's called You Are My Sunshine, because you guys out there, you really are our sunshine. And this, each and every one of you.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know me, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But when I woke up, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and I cried. Everyone sing that. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know me, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You told me once, dear, you really love me, and no one else could come between. But now you left me to love
You make me happy when skies are gray or gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. No, please don't take my sunshine away. Now don't you take my sunshine away. I just wanted to yodel in that. Now let's do
You
that.
don't need to
Let's do that sing along, because I think they would have all been singing along, and we've got about 10 minutes to go. So this is one that we found. Do you remember a bloke called Max Bygraves back in the day? And he used to, I can just remember my mum and dad having a record, and it was a Max Bygraves record, and he had all these sing along tunes on it. And I would love to be able to sing some more of this. So here we go. We want you to sing along with us. And it's a happy song, and it's a really funny one. I mean, who would write a song about coconuts? But this guy did. I don't know what his train of thought was. But David's going to lead us.
If you're British, you would remember this when you were a child.
Rightio. And we go through it 3 times. So if you missed the first 2, you can always catch up on the last one. So here we go.
Down in the English Vale, one evening I was there, when I heard a shoulder chowing out underneath the flare. Oh, I got a lovely bunch of coconuts,
And there they are standing in the road. A big one, small one, some as big as your head. I give them a twist, a flick of the wrist, that's what the showman said.
Oh,
I got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Every more you throw me makes me rich. Oh, there stands me wife, the idol of my life. Sing a roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. Come on! Oh, roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. A roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. A roll, a roll, a roll, a roll, a roll, a roll. Sing a roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. Oh, I got a lovely bunch of coconuts, and there they are all standing in a row. Where we go? Big one, small one, some as big as your head. I'll give them a twist, a flick of the wrist, that's what the showman said. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Every more you throw me makes me rich. And there stands me husband, the idol of me life. Sing a roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. Come on now. Roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. Roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. A roll, a roll, a roll, a roll, a roll, a roll. Roll, a roll, a roll. Last time now, come on. Oh, I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts in English now. There they are all standing in a row. A bigger one, small one, some as big as your head. I'll give them a twist, a flick of the wrist, that's what the showman said. Oh, I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Every more you throw me makes me rich. And there stands me wife, oh, the idol of me life. Sing a roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. Last time. Oh, roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. A roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. A roll, a roll, a roll, a roll, a roll, a roll. Roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. Hey! Oh, wow, I like that one. We've got to keep that in the repertoire.
What do you mean about singing English? You mean Cockney?
Yeah, you know, there stands me wife, the idol of me life, sing a roll, a roll, a roll, a penny a pitch. I love it. I love the English accent. I would love to be able. When we go over there, every year we go over there, and
Except for this year.
I'll find a karaoke to go to because I just love music. And last year we were in, or the year before that, we were in Eyemouth, which is in Scotland, and we went to karaoke. And I'm talking away, and I said to the fella, the 19-year-old, "I'm sorry I talk so much, don't I?" He said, "No, lovey." He said, "I'm just listening to your accent."
I want to listen to you all the time.
I go, "Really?"
He wasn't Scottish. He was a Geordie.
Oh, yeah, we met Geordies. Oh, I just love it. I would move over there tomorrow, except they've got the ISO worse than us, but it's too expensive over there for us.
It is pretty expensive.
So, all right, so we've got a couple to go. We've got about 6 minutes to go. So let's keep it nice and up-tempo, Dave. We won't do that one that I was... Okay, he's thinking.
So blame it on?
Blame it on. Okay, we're going to go into the bossa nova because I know you're all excited. You've used your diaphragm now, you know, got the air out singing, repeat your pitch. Right, now we're going to go back to Edie Gourmet. Now, Edie Gourmet, great singer, back early in the day.
Was she a gourmet?
No, she was the first ever TV cook, I think.
She's a gourmet.
But I'm telling you now, one of the best songs we could, if you know how to dance, even if you don't know how to dance, just sing along with this one. Or move your bottom, move whatever you can, all right? This one has got, you no need to go to worry about walking today. You've done enough exercise for this morning. You've done so well. Here we go. This is called Blame It On the Bossa Nova. I was at a dance when he caught my eye, standing on the floor and looking sad and shy. He began to dance, sway to and fro, and soon I knew I'd never let him go. Blame it on the bossa nova with its magic spell. Blame it on the bossa nova, I love it is so well. Oh, we know we can be just one little dance, soon we ended up in a big romance. Blame it on the bossa nova, I guess the dance on love.
Was it in the mood?
I know, the bossa nova. I know, the bossa nova. Oh yes, the bossa nova, the dance of love. And now I'm proud to say I'm his bride to be, and we're gonna raise a little family. And when the kids ask how it came about, to them I'm gonna say without one doubt, you blame it on the bossa nova with its magic spell. Blame it on the bossa nova, and it is so well. Oh, we don't begin with just one little dance, soon it ended up in a big romance. Blame it on the bossa nova, I guess the dance of love.
Was it in the mood?
Oh no, I know the bossa nova. I know bossa nova, the dance of love.
Was it in the mood?
I know the bossa nova. I know the bossa nova. Oh yes, the bossa nova, the dance of love. Ah, well done. We've got one more to go. I'm not going to
Just
talk too
before
much.
we just went offline again.
We
So
did.
I'm assuming that it is.
It's the cat.
No, it's the children doing all their online
Oh.
work. They're taking all the.
Well, that's important.
Hopefully, that's what.
That's
it is.
important.
Because
So we want to send a big thank you to Darren and all the guys at the City Council, Melton City Council. Thank you for having us. We are the Hoffmans, but more importantly, we want to thank you guys for switching on. You have made our day. I'm glad there's people out there, and I hope we brought a smile to your face. We got that blood running, and I hope you had a beautiful cup of tea this morning. It was a lovely morning tea. God bless you all. I hope we'll see each other very, very soon. In the words of Dame Vera Lynn, we would like to finish with this song. God bless you all. It goes like this. We'll meet again. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive those dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me meet again some sunny day. Sing along, everyone. Here we go.
We'll meet again. I don't know where. I don't know where.
But I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Either in the supermarket or down at the Melton Country Club, somewhere like that.
We're shining through, just like you always do.
Till the blue skies dry those dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. Oh, we'll meet again. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Thank you, Melton. Thank you to the City Council. We are the Hoffmans. We'll see you somewhere, somehow. Keep safe. Big hugs to all of you.
That's all, Melton.